As experienced Microsoft 365 support engineer and administrator, I can tell you for the fact that there are situations where you need to convert OST to PST file while working. Example of such situation would be maybe when you're trying to restore the data from a deleted Microsoft 365 account, and let's say you want to also access data during Exchange server issues, maybe when the Exchange server crashes and you still want to access a user email content or files. And then situation where you want to ensure that data access during a planned or an unplanned maintenance is secure, you would need to have the option to convert OST files to PSTs. So when you find yourself in this situation as an Exchange administrator or Microsoft 365 administrator, you want to start looking for tools to use to carry out these conversions. And I've come across a very useful tool that I want to share with you today. And what is that tool? It is called the Stellar app. Let us look at how it works. And this tool is very easy to use. It's just for you to go to stellarinfo.com/convert-ost to pst.php and you can have access to this application. So I'll also be dropping this link in the comment section. So I'll just hit on. So you have two options. You can go for directly for the purchase, but of course there is option for free trial, and this is secure to download. And this is just going to take a few split of seconds to download the application. So I'm just going to hit on this, and then you have the app downloaded here in a bit for you. So I'm going to click on this to see the location where the file is downloaded, and the next thing I will do is to double click on it just so I can install the application. So while you want to install, there are several languages that you want to consider. You want to go maybe for English, you can go for French, you can go for Dutch, but I want to go for English in this situation. So I'm just going to click on OK at this point, and then what happens is to tell me welcome, and then I'll do next. Then read the license agreement, and if that's fine by you, you can click on next. And then this is where you choose which location you want that to be saved. You can click on next as I'm fine with that location. Otherwise, I could click on browse to change the location, right? So I'll just click on next, and if I'm fine for it to create a shortcut on my desktop, I can just click on next, and then I will click on install. So this is just going to take a bit of time, and then it is done from here. So if I wanted to launch the Stellar converter from OST setup wizard immediately after I click on finish, I will leave this box checked. Otherwise, I can uncheck it. But in my case, I want this to just launch the app for me. So this is how good it looks. It actually looks like, so this is the app here. It actually looks like the Outlook interface. So the interface is actually very friendly, and it is almost, you'll be used to it as almost as if you are in your Outlook environment. So that is how clean the user interface is, and I also appreciate this. So another point you just do is to carry on your conversion. You can decide to list the profile you have signed in here on the machine you are using by clicking on this list, and then it will bring up the profiles that you have signed in here. But if you don't want that, and if you have like a file, like in my own case where I have a file that I specifically want to convert, so what I would do is to click on choose mailbox manually, and then I will click on browse to just go and then pick up the OST file. This is the file here, so I'm just going to pick it up, and then I'll click on open. And then the next thing I will do is to click on convert. So the time it takes for this conversion to be done is actually dependent on the size of the file that I'm converting. However, I will tell you for free that this is a very, very fast process, right? So you don't even need to wait for too long before you can have it convert for you. And if you want to stop it at any instant during the conversion, you can as well go ahead and do that. Because of the size of my file, you can see that I've got a lot already converted, and it's saying that selected file has been converted. Click save converted file button to save the converted PST file. So I'm just going to click on OK here. So these are the files that has converted for me. At this point, I have not paid anything, and I can go ahead to look at the content of the mail. Please find attached all of these and then go to this to check to see what is here, to get to these emails to look at it. So the red ones that you see here are the deleted emails, so if you really want, if you're also interested in the deleted mails, you can of course just leave them this way. But if you want to filter, to say you want to remove some particular items, all the items by default are going to be checked. So you can decide to uncheck. Let's say I don't want the junk emails, I can just come here and uncheck the junk emails right here. And once I'm fine with what I have here, I can just quickly click on save. So save converted file. So it is when I click on this save converted file that it will request me to check out the subscription options that I want to go for. So I want to click on it now and just see what happens. It will ask for a product key, and then it will lead me to the Stellar website where I can go for the option of the subscription I want to truly adopt. So I have here the corporate plan, I have the technician plan, and the toolkit plan, so of different prices. And if you look at what each of the subscription plan carries, you can really look at them here. Convert OST to PST, and then it's possible for all, while the corporate plan is listed for 5 mailboxes. And then you come here to auto locate the OST files, you can see all of it. Then the possibilities or the components of the corporate that is not present in corporate and other plans, you will also see them here, like the batch file conversion and all of that. So if you scroll down also, you will just see the plans and what it entails. But for me, I have, so from here it will ask me to put the product key, and I have the product key myself. So what I will do is to put the product key, and I can click on activate. So once I click on activate, it gives me option to say activation is completed, and I can click on OK. So if I do that, I have the option to save the file as PST, as MSG, as EML, as RTF, as HTML, or as PDF. But for this situation, I just want the PST file, so I'm just going to click on next. And then what it asks me is, what destination do I want to save the PST file, right? So I can decide to browse, but by default, it is going to get saved to where the OST file was located on my PC. So I'm just going to click on OK, just so it can just add it by the side of the OST file that I had earlier. So this again will take time depending on how much the file is actually and the contents that I want to save, just like you saving like a normal document, so the time is just going to be dependent on the size. That's just the summary of what I'm trying to say. And you can also stop it just the same way you could stop when you were trying to do the export as well. So at this point, it's all done, so I'll click on OK. So let's now go to my file explorer just so we can check the file that is converted. Here you can see it is showing the same file, which this is the OST and this is the converted file here. So I'm just going to look at it this way. So what I would do is now to bring up my Outlook. So I bring up Outlook. All right, so that's my Outlook there. I'm just going to hit on enter, and then the next point I will do is to import the converted file into my Outlook, and then I can really view the content of that mailbox inside of my Outlook application. So I will click on file, and then if I click on file, I will go to open and export. So when I do that, I go to import/exports. So if I do this, I will just look at this, import data from other files such as Outlook data file .pst and the text file. So I'm just going to do next. So if I do next at this point, because I have the file as .pst, I'm going to take it out from the comma separated, which is a CSV now to PST. So I'll do next. So if I do next, really what happens is it asks me if I want to replace duplicate. If I want to replace duplicate with item imported, or if I want to allow duplicate to be created also. So I'm fine, and already I've picked up this, so I will just do next. So if I do next, it's just telling me that it's a Stellar converter for OST, right? So the next thing is I will just click on finish. So I will have an importation or import of the contents from the PST file to my Outlook now, so you can see it flying on my screen. And again, the time this would take for this file to be imported is dependent on the size. that I have there. So right now I can come here and go to this point, and then down below here I will see the top of so if I scroll down here, I will see top of Outlook data file. Yes, so if I come to the inbox here, I will really see those mails that we saw when we were trying to do that conversion here. So if you really took note of that, you will see that these mails were all available in that at the point where I was carrying out the conversion. So what is interesting to me here is the straightforwardness of this application, and then the friendliness of the user interface, and the speed at which you can really use this and understand how it works without needing any expert advice on what to do. So for me, I will go for this tool, and I will encourage you to also do. You can try it out. I'm going to drop the link on the comment section, and I'm sure that you are not going to regret going for this option. So thank you very much, and I hope that if you have questions that you can ask me down on the comment section, and of course I'll be very happy to provide answers to you. Thank you very much. Peace.